I grow forward in the Word of God from where I am today, it will be because it is a pursuit that I take. It is because it is a goal that I have. It is because it is a dream in my heart to grow forward. A number of years ago, I was in Valdosta, Georgia. I was being taken out to lunch, and I was waiting for the men who were going to take me. They owned a bike shop. I was walking around looking at the bicycles. And I came across a unicycle. I'd never seen a unicycle close up before. I've always seen people at a distance riding unicycles. And I looked at the price, and it blew me away. The price of the unicycle was more than some bicycles. It didn't make sense. I mean, one wheel, pedals on it, a bar, and a seat. And as I was looking at it, one of the guys who owned the shop walked up to me, "Hey, Steve, can you ride it?" I don't know. You never know what you can do until you try. And he laughed. "If you can ride it, I'll give it to you." His laugh should have told me something. I said, "You want me to ride it right now here in the store?" He said, "No, how long have you been in town?" I said, "I'm here for 2 weeks." "If you can ride it in 2 weeks, I'll give it to you." Again, his laugh should have told me something. But I thought, I can do anything in 2 weeks. So now, I have a dream. Say the word with me, a dream. I'm going to try to ride this unicycle. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to add something to my life that's not been there in the past. And that's what I'm talking about. When we grow forward spiritually, we're adding something to our life that has not been there in the past. And it all begins with the thought, the goal, the pursuit, the dream. I'm going to do it. Well, I've got a dream of riding a unicycle. So I took it over to the church gymnasium where I was that week, and I thought, well, no guts, no glory, just jump on it and ride off. I jumped on it, but I didn't ride off. I think rather it jumped on me. That thing is unbelievable. I put one hand on the seat, one foot on the pedal, threw my leg over, wham! I have never hit the ground so hard, so fast in all my life. That thing is like greased lightning. It left me lying there breathless, and I thought, well, that's not how you do it. So I got my composure, got to the unicycle again, picked it up, thought I better hang on to something, so I walked to a wall. Put one hand on the wall, one hand on the seat, one foot on the pedal, threw my leg over, wham! Same thing again. Only difference was scraped all the hide off that arm and went down the wall. That thing is unbelievable to try to stay on. I tried 2 days. I was not successful to do anything on that unicycle. I brought my wife out to help me. And my wife would stand in front of me, and we'd lock arms. I said, "All right, hold me up." She'd hold me up. All right, back up. She'd back up. I'd come forward. Wham! Wham! Not only would I fall, I'd pull my wife down on top of her. For 1 week, I tried to ride that dumb unicycle, and I was not successful. But my dream, say the word, dream, is to ride this unicycle. In those days, I lived in a travel trailer, traveled all across the U.S. It was a rather small travel trailer. When you walk into the front door, you were in the kitchen, dining room, boys' bedroom, living room. It was all in the same room. Then you went down a hallway. And then the master bedroom was in the back. The hallway was about 2.5, 3 feet wide. Perfect place to sit on the unicycle. I sat on the unicycle, hands on both walls, and I'd pedal. One revolution, I'd dip into the hallway. Turn around, one revolution, get the other end of the hallway. And I just sat on that unicycle when I was in the trailer in the evenings, just night after night after night, just sitting there going up and down that hallway, hanging on to both walls. I found I had a sensation of where the center of gravity needed to be, where your balance needed to be. And I got a little feeling of it there. And I went back over to the gym, and I could ride all the way around the gymnasium as long as I kept one hand on the wall, until eventually I could turn loose of the wall and ride the unicycle. And the unicycle was given to me. And today I own 3 unicycles. I have 2 regular size unicycles, and I have 1 6-foot chain driven unicycle. Hey, I can ride unicycles today. All because it started as the dream, say the word, the dream of doing it. Adding something to my life that wasn't there in the past. We ought to always be seeking to grow forward and add things to our life spiritually that are not there in the past. But along the way, I learned the secret of riding the unicycle, and it's at the heart of what I want you to grasp. The secret of riding the unicycle. You know what my mistake was? My mistake was I would sit on the unicycle, and my first motion was a pedaling motion. If that's your first motion, you'll drive yourself into the ground. And the faster you pedal, the faster you'll hit the ground. Would you like to know the secret of riding the unicycle? Here it is. You must be willing to sacrifice your face. What one must do is he must fall forward and then pedal. For when he falls forward and then pedal, the center of gravity is where it needs to be and where it needs to be maintained out front. I call it the leaning principle. You've got to lean forward and go for it. Quite frankly, it's a risk. You've got to risk falling on your face in failure in order to succeed. You know why I believe a lot of people never come to the place where they give the gospel or give their testimony? It's because of the fear of failure. But unless you're willing to fail, you can never become proficient at giving the gospel. Unless you're willing to fail, you never can become proficient at giving your testimony to those who badly need to hear it. We must be willing to take the risk. Quite frankly, there are spiritual risks, and we must be willing to take the risk and fail before we can ever become proficient and grow forward for the Lord. It all begins with the dream. At IRONWOOD Camp, the desert of California, my son was 6 years old. He was in a barrel race on horses. Now, our horses have done the same things for kids for so long. You can put them on a trail. It doesn't matter what the kid does with the horse. The horse is going to do what the horse knows he's supposed to do. But I've never seen this before, and I wish I'd had it on video. Adrian, my youngest son, he was in a barrel race. He came up to the first barrel, and he reached the flag. He goes to the next barrel. He drops the flag. He goes to the third barrel, and the horse is just a little bit too far away. And Adrian leans from the saddle. And he leans further and further, trying to reach the flag, and further and further. You never know what's going to happen when you lean. And he leaned further. He still couldn't reach the flag. The horse had enough of that. He reached around, got the flag in his mouth. The horse got the flag and went galloping off to the next barrel. That's a horse that's done that same thing over and over and over again. But I say this. Sometimes when you lean forward to grow forward, you never know when God's going to come along beside you and perform in your life that you could never do in and of yourself. But you've got to go for it. It all begins with the dream. But dreams are not enough. For if we just dream and growing forward in the Word of God so that we do not suffer loss, it might be nothing more than a strong wish. Oh, I wish this were in my life, and I wish I knew the Word of God. So there must be another word added. The second word. Desire. Say that word with me. Desire. Say both of them. Dream and desire. If the dream were an engine in an automobile, the desire would be the fuel for it. Desire is so important. Listen to what Jesus said. Jesus said, "He that hungers and thirsts after righteousness shall be filled." What I want you to realize is the intensity of desire. He that hungers after righteousness. He that thirsts after righteousness. Notice the desire. He that hungers, he that thirsts shall be filled. It is as if Jesus is saying, if there is no hungering and if there is no thirsting, there is no filling. The desire is the key. I grew up in Mississippi. We grew up near Oak-Tippy-Hog Reservoir. They had just built it. Actually, they bought some of our farmland to build the reservoir. And in our high school years, there was this reservoir, and a lot of our friends, they started water skiing and water sports and so forth. We didn't have a boat. We didn't have a wherewithal. Some of our friends invited us to go. I had the opportunity of going first. My brother was working during the course of that week, and I got the opportunity to go, and I just watched. And I looked at it, and I thought, oh, it doesn't look to be that tough. And my brother came, and